Navigating the Social Labyrinth with Stoicism. The great Stoic philosopher Epictetus once wisely stated, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." Original content Midnight. This profound insight underscores the critical influence our social circles have on our personal growth and well-being. You've likely encountered the saying, "You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with," a notion that resonates deeply with the Stoic emphasis on cultivating virtuous relationships. But what happens when those relationships become sources of negativity, hindering your progress on the path to Stoic resilience and wisdom? Today, we embark on an exploration of 7 types of individuals who can derail your Stoic journey and delve into practical strategies, rooted in Stoic philosophy, for navigating these challenging connections. Before diving in, please consider this an invitation to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you are interested in Stoicism. 7 social archetypes to navigate with Stoic wisdom. 1. The complainer, a leaky faucet of negativity. We all encounter them, the friend, family member, or coworker who seems to find fault in everything. Whether it's the weather, their job, or even the culinary offerings at a celebrated restaurant, they rarely miss an opportunity to voice their dissatisfaction. Original content 034. Now, you might wonder, why should this concern me? I can simply ignore them. However, this is often easier said than done. Consistent exposure to negativity has a draining effect on your mental well-being. It's akin to a leaky faucet slowly depleting your reservoir of emotional energy. This constant barrage of complaints can subtly erode your own optimism, making it harder to maintain a positive outlook and pursue your goals with enthusiasm. It can also lead to feelings of frustration, resentment, and even helplessness, as you feel powerless to change the complainer's negativity. Stoicism teaches us to focus on actionable solutions instead of dwelling on problems. It encourages us to direct our energy towards things we can control, rather than fixating on those we cannot. For example, imagine collaborating on a project with someone who is a perpetual complainer. Each meeting transforms into an exhausting session of complaints, devoid of constructive dialogue. The impact is palpable, the team's morale declines, you're sidetracked from finding actionable solutions, and you likely find yourself increasingly disenchanted with the project and possibly even life in general. The constant negativity can create a toxic environment, stifling creativity, innovation, and collaboration. It can also lead to decreased productivity, increased stress, and even burnout, as team members struggle to cope with the complainer's negativity. So, how does Stoicism help us deal with a complainer? Several strategies can be employed. First, limit your exposure to the individual whenever possible. If that's not feasible, perhaps because they're a family member or colleague, then your second option is to mentally distance yourself during their diatribes. Think of their complaints as a passing storm, loud and unsettling, but ultimately temporary and powerless against the unmovable mountain that is your own inner tranquility. This mental detachment allows you to remain grounded in your own perspective, preventing the complainer's negativity from affecting your emotional state. It also allows you to conserve your energy and focus on things you can control. Your third option is to steer the conversation towards solutions or to change the subject to something more constructive. By gently guiding the conversation towards positive and actionable topics, you can help to shift the complainer's focus and create a more productive and uplifting environment. You can also offer suggestions for how the complainer can address their concerns, empowering them to take control of their situation. This approach not only helps to alleviate the negativity in the moment, but also provides the complainer with tools and strategies for managing their emotions and addressing their concerns in a more constructive way. To quote Marcus Aurelius, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This timeless Stoic wisdom encourages us to guard our mental peace diligently, ensuring that the negativity from chronic complainers doesn't deviate us from our Stoic path of resilience and virtue. This proactive approach allows you to maintain your own well-being and create a more positive and productive environment for yourself and those around you. Furthermore, remember the Stoic concept of acceptance. While you can't change the complainer's behavior, you can change your reaction to it. Accept that they are likely to continue complaining, and choose to respond with equanimity. Don't let their negativity affect your own emotional state. Focus on maintaining your inner peace and pursuing your own goals, regardless of the complainer's behavior. This acceptance allows you to detach from the complainer's negativity and to maintain your own well-being. It also allows you to approach the situation with greater compassion, recognizing that the complainer may be struggling with their own internal challenges. By accepting the situation and choosing to respond with equanimity, you can protect your own mental peace and create a more positive and fulfilling life. In addition, consider the power of empathy. While it's important to protect yourself from negativity, it's also important to recognize that complainers are often expressing underlying feelings of frustration, disappointment, or even fear. Try to understand the source of their complaints, and offer them a listening ear. Sometimes, simply acknowledging their feelings can be enough to diffuse their negativity. However, be mindful of your boundaries and avoid getting drawn into their problems. Offer support and empathy, but don't become their therapist. The goal is to help them feel heard and understood, without sacrificing your own emotional well-being. By approaching complainers with empathy and setting clear boundaries, you can navigate these challenging relationships with greater compassion and resilience. 2. The drama magnet, a whirlpool of chaos. Imagine navigating your life as if it were a ship sailing through calm waters. But then you encounter the whirlpool known as the drama magnet. This individual seems to have an unending series of crises, conflicts, or controversies, and like a whirlpool, they have an unsettling ability to suck you into their vortex of chaos. You might initially find yourself attracted to the drama magnet's energy, mistaking it for passion or excitement. However, you'll soon realize that being in their sphere is like navigating a ship through a storm, exhausting and dangerous. The constant chaos can leave you feeling drained, anxious, and overwhelmed. It can also disrupt your own peace of mind and make it difficult to focus on your goals. What makes dealing with drama magnets so tricky is that their crises can often feel like your own. Their chaos is infectious. You might even find yourself embroiled in conflicts that you had no initial part in. This can lead to feelings of frustration, resentment, and even anger, as you get dragged into situations that you didn't ask for. It can also damage your relationships with others, as you get caught in the crossfire of the drama magnet's conflicts. The constant chaos can create a sense of instability and uncertainty, making it difficult to maintain a sense of calm and control. Let's take a practical example. You have a friend who has frequent fallouts with others in your social circle. Today, they're not talking to Sarah, tomorrow, it's Tom. Your friend comes to you for advice, but you notice that this cycle never ends, and suddenly, you find yourself also at odds with Sarah or Tom because you tried to intervene. This illustrates the danger of getting too involved in the drama magnet's conflicts. Your attempt to help can backfire, leaving you embroiled in their chaos and damaging your own relationships. It's important to recognize the pattern and to protect yourself from getting drawn into their vortex of drama. In this case, you could employ a strategy called reflective listening. Instead of offering advice or taking sides, mirror their words back to them. For example, if they say, "I can't believe Sarah said that about me," you could respond with, "So you're feeling betrayed by Sarah's words." This technique allows you to provide emotional support without getting entangled in the drama yourself. It also encourages the drama magnet to reflect on their own feelings and behaviors, which can help them to take responsibility for their own conflicts. Reflective listening provides a safe space for them to express their emotions without dragging you into the drama. Another approach, and one that might sound counterintuitive, is to become selectively unavailable. Stoicism reminds us to value our time highly, and sometimes that means being unavailable for other people's crises, especially if they're recurring without resolution. Turn off your phone during certain hours, create focus periods where you concentrate solely on your work or personal development, and let it be known that during these times, you're not to be disturbed. This sets clear boundaries and protects your time and energy from being consumed by the drama magnet's constant crises. It also sends a message that you value your own well-being and that you're not willing to sacrifice it for their drama. To paraphrase Seneca, true happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future. This can be particularly helpful when dealing with drama magnets. Instead of anxiously wondering what crisis will happen next, concentrate on the present moment, where you have control. Enjoy your life, and don't let it be disrupted by someone else's drama. Make it a point to sail your ship calmly, steering clear of whirlpools that threaten your voyage towards personal growth and tranquility. This proactive approach allows you to maintain your inner peace and to focus on your own goals, regardless of the drama magnet's constant chaos. Furthermore, remember the Stoic virtue of detachment. While it's important to be compassionate and supportive, it's also important to detach from the drama magnet's problems. Recognize that their crises are ultimately their responsibility, and that you can't solve them for them. Focus on maintaining your own emotional boundaries and protecting your own well-being. This detachment allows you to offer support without getting dragged into their chaos. It also allows you to maintain a healthy perspective and to avoid becoming emotionally invested in their problems. By practicing detachment, you can navigate these challenging relationships with greater resilience and peace of mind. In addition, consider the impact of your own energy. Drama magnets are often drawn to individuals who are empathetic and supportive, as they provide a receptive audience for their crises. However, by constantly engaging with their drama, you may be inadvertently reinforcing their behavior. Try to shift your energy and focus on positive and uplifting interactions. Encourage the drama magnet to focus on solutions rather than problems, and to take responsibility for their own lives. By changing your own energy, you may be able to help them to break free from their cycle of drama and to create a more positive and fulfilling life. 3. The naysayer, dulling your vibrant canvas. Picture this: you're an artist painting a canvas. Each brush stroke adds color, depth, and life to your vision. Enter the naysayer. They walk into your studio, glance at your work, and immediately begin to critique it. Are you sure about that color? That doesn't look realistic. You know, most artists never make it. Their words, like strokes of gray paint, start to dull your vibrant canvas. This isn't your standard constructive criticism, which can be valuable. Instead, it's a persistent aura of doubt and negativity. This constant negativity can erode your confidence, making you question your abilities and your vision. It can also stifle your creativity and prevent you from taking risks. For example, let's say you're excited about pursuing a new career path. You've done your research, spoken to professionals in the field, and maybe even taken a few preliminary courses. When you share your enthusiasm with the naysayer, they quickly list all the reasons it won't work out. The market is too competitive. Do you have the right skills? What if you fail? Soon enough, their doubts start to feel like your own, and the self-assured vision you had starts to wobble. This illustrates the power of the naysayer to undermine your confidence and derail your goals. Their negativity can plant seeds of doubt in your mind, making it difficult to stay motivated and focused. Now, how do you deal with a naysayer, especially when they might be someone close to you? One unconventional but effective method is to ask them for advice rather than just sharing your plans or aspirations. When people are put in an advisory role, they're less likely to attack your ideas outright and may offer more constructive feedback. This tactic can help to diffuse their negativity and to create a more collaborative and supportive environment. It also allows you to gain valuable insights from their perspective, which can help you to refine your plans and to address potential challenges. Another method involves flipping the script through a technique called positive confrontation. Instead of absorbing their negativity, challenge them to think of solutions. If they say, "You'll never be able to switch careers at this stage," counter with, "Interesting perspective. How do you think someone could successfully make a career change then?" This not only deflects the negativity but also encourages a more constructive form of conversation. It also forces the naysayer to think critically about the challenges involved and to consider potential solutions. This approach can help to shift the focus from negativity to positivity and to create a more empowering and supportive environment. Remember the words of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus: "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Listening doesn't mean absorbing everyone's negativity, it means discerning valuable input from mere noise. When the naysayers start to cloud your canvas with their shades of doubt, take a step back, listen, reflect, and continue painting your own life with the colors that speak to you. Don't let anyone turn your vibrant masterpiece into a dull gray landscape. This requires cultivating a strong sense of self-belief and a clear vision of your goals. It also requires the ability to filter out negativity and to focus on the positive and constructive feedback that will help you to achieve your dreams. Furthermore, remember the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control. You cannot control the naysayers' negativity, but you can control your reaction to it. Choose to focus on your own strengths, your own vision, and your own goals. Don't let their doubts define you or derail you from your path. This requires cultivating a strong sense of self-awareness and a clear understanding of your values. It also requires the ability to detach from external opinions and to trust your own intuition. By focusing on what you can control, you can protect yourself from the naysayers' negativity and continue to pursue your dreams with confidence and determination. In addition, consider the source of the naysayers' negativity. Are they genuinely concerned about your well-being, or are they simply projecting their own fears and insecurities onto you? If they are genuinely concerned, try to address their concerns with empathy and understanding. However, if they are simply projecting their own negativity, it may be necessary to limit your interactions with them or to set clear boundaries. Ultimately, it is your responsibility to protect your own mental and emotional well-being and to surround yourself with people who support and encourage your dreams. 4. The victim, trapped in a game of perpetual checkmate. Imagine life as a game of chess. Each player has the same pieces and the same goal: to checkmate the opponent's king. You think strategically, make some sacrifices, and take some risks. The victim, however, blames the board, the pieces, or even their opponent for every poor move they make. In their eyes, they're perpetually in checkmate, not because of their choices, but because of some external force working against them. Their narrative is a never-ending tale of woe, with themselves cast as the helpless protagonist. I can't get ahead in my job because my boss dislikes me, or I can't get fit because I have bad genetics. This constant blame shifting can be incredibly draining to be around, as it creates a sense of helplessness and hopelessness. It also prevents the victim from taking responsibility for their own lives and making positive changes. Now, it's crucial to note that some people face genuine hardships and systemic issues. However, the victim we're discussing uses their predicament as a permanent excuse, refusing to take any responsibility for their actions or lack thereof. They may be facing real challenges, but they choose to focus on the negative and to avoid taking any steps to improve their situation. This can be frustrating for those around them, as they see the victim's potential but are unable to help them break free from their cycle of negativity. You might find yourself entangled in their storyline, perhaps as the supporting character who constantly needs to rescue them. Let's say you've spent countless hours listening to a friend blame their endless string of failed relationships entirely on their ex-partners. Not only does this suck up your time, but it can also subtly encourage you to adopt a similar victim mindset in your own life. This illustrates the danger of getting too involved in the victim's narrative. Your attempt to help can backfire, leaving you feeling drained and helpless, and even encouraging you to adopt a similar victim mentality in your own life. So, what's your move when dealing with a victim? It might be tempting to become their savior, offering endless advice and emotional support. But the Stoics would caution against this. They'd recommend drawing a firm boundary to protect your own mental state. You could employ a technique known as compassionate detachment. Show empathy and kindness, but don't try to rescue them from situations they need to navigate themselves. Offer a listening ear, but refrain from becoming their perpetual problem solver. This approach allows you to support the victim without getting entangled in their negativity or taking responsibility for their problems. It also encourages them to take ownership of their own lives and to develop their own problem-solving skills. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." If you find yourself sucked into the victim's narrative, resist the urge to become one yourself. Take control of your own game board, make your moves, and remember, in the chess game of life, being perpetually in checkmate is often a choice, not a fate. Keep your pieces moving forward, make strategic sacrifices when necessary, and play not for revenge or pity, but for growth and wisdom. This requires cultivating a strong sense of self-reliance and a clear understanding of your own goals. It also requires the ability to detach from the victim's narrative and to focus on your own path. Furthermore, remember the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control. You cannot control the victim's circumstances, but you can control your response to them. Choose to focus on your own actions and your own goals. Don't let their negativity define you or derail you from your path. This requires cultivating a strong sense of self-awareness and a clear understanding of your values. It also requires the ability to detach from external circumstances and to trust your own intuition. By focusing on what you can control, you can protect yourself from the victim's negativity and continue to pursue your dreams with confidence and determination. In addition, encourage the victim to take responsibility for their own lives. Gently point out that they have the power to make positive changes, even in the face of difficult circumstances. Help them to identify their strengths and to develop their problem-solving skills. Encourage them to seek professional help if they are struggling to cope with their challenges. Ultimately, it is their responsibility to take ownership of their own lives and to make the changes necessary to improve their situation. By encouraging them to take responsibility, you can empower them to break free from their victim mindset and to create a more fulfilling life. 5. The toxic positivist, trampling your garden with indiscriminate good vibes. You know this person. They're always exuding sunshine, rainbows, and endless streams of emojis. They're the ones telling you to just be happy when you're going through a difficult period, dismissing your feelings and experiences with a flip-pant wave of glittery optimism. Imagine your life as a garden. There are flowers, but there are also weeds and pests. A toxic positivist, however, insists on ignoring anything that isn't a blooming rose. Got aphids on your leaves? Just focus on the flowers. Don't let negativity into your garden, they'd say. While it sounds uplifting, their approach can make you feel invalidated and disconnected from reality. This constant pressure to be positive can be incredibly stifling, as it denies the validity of your emotions and experiences. It can also prevent you from processing your feelings in a healthy way, leading to repressed emotions and potentially more serious mental health issues. Suppose you're going through a tough breakup. You're sad, confused, and seeking some emotional balance. The toxic positivist's advice: there are plenty of fish in the sea. Just smile and be happy. This sort of excessive positivity neglects the complexities of human emotion and the realities of life's challenges. It minimizes your pain and invalidates your feelings, leaving you feeling unheard and misunderstood. It can also create a sense of shame, as you feel like you're not allowed to feel sad or upset. How do you cultivate your garden without letting the toxic positivists trample it with their indiscriminate sprinkling of good vibes only? One strategy is to engage them in a discussion that embraces both light and shadow. If they say, "Look on the bright side, at least you have your health," you could reply, "Yes, I'm grateful for my health, but it's also okay for me to feel upset about this specific issue." Both can coexist. This acknowledges their positive intention while also asserting the validity of your own feelings. It also helps to create a more balanced and realistic perspective. You can also employ what psychologists call emotional granularity, the ability to feel and differentiate between a wide range of emotions, both positive and negative. When the toxic positivist pushes you to just be happy, take a moment to acknowledge and label your nuanced feelings. "I'm feeling a bit melancholic today due to X, and that's okay," can be a liberating affirmation. This allows you to validate your own emotions and to resist the pressure to conform to the toxic positivist's unrealistic expectations. It also helps you to develop a deeper understanding of your own emotional landscape. To reference Stoic thought, Seneca once said, "True happiness is to understand our duties toward God and man, to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." Notice the balance, understanding duties, which aren't always pleasant, and enjoying the present. A Stoic approach isn't about focusing solely on the positive or the negative, it's about embracing life's complexity with equanimity. This requires accepting the full range of human emotions and experiences, both positive and negative. It also requires focusing on what you can control and accepting what you cannot. By embracing life's complexity with equanimity, you can cultivate a more resilient and fulfilling life. So, the next time the toxic positivist sprinkles their confetti on your carefully tended garden, take a step back. Remember, a garden needs both sunshine and rain to flourish. Embrace your full emotional spectrum, and keep nurturing your garden with the richness and complexity it deserves. This requires cultivating a strong sense of self-awareness and a clear understanding of your own emotional needs. It also requires the ability to set boundaries and to protect yourself from the toxic positivist's unrealistic expectations. By embracing your full emotional spectrum and nurturing your garden with richness and complexity, you can create a more authentic and fulfilling life. Furthermore, consider the potential motivations behind the toxic positivist's behavior. Are they genuinely trying to help, or are they simply uncomfortable with negative emotions? If they are genuinely trying to help, try to educate them about the importance of validating negative emotions and providing genuine support. However, if they are simply uncomfortable with negative emotions, it may be necessary to limit your interactions with them or to set clear boundaries. Ultimately, it is your responsibility to protect your own mental and emotional well-being and to surround yourself with people who support and validate your experiences. 6. The manipulator, rewriting your script behind the scenes. Picture your life as a movie script. You're the main character, and you have an idea of how your story should unfold, where the twists are, who your allies and mentors are, and what your final act looks like. Enter the manipulator, the shadowy producer who subtly rewrites your script without you even realizing it, until one day you find your storyline has veered off course. The manipulator is skilled in the art of emotional or psychological maneuvering. They might use flattery, guilt trips, or even deceit to steer you in a direction that benefits them. This can leave you feeling confused, disempowered, and like you've lost control of your own life. It can also damage your relationships with others, as the manipulator may try to turn you against your friends and family. You might have a friend who always manages to get you to pay for dinner by saying something like, "You know, I've been having a rough month, and you're so successful. It wouldn't mean much to you but would make my day better." Over time, you find that your generosity has been taken advantage of, but calling them out feels uncomfortable because they framed it as a favor to a friend in need. This illustrates the manipulator's skill in using emotional tactics to get what they want. They prey on your empathy and your desire to be a good friend, making it difficult to say no without feeling guilty. Handling a manipulator can be a tricky business. One method to counteract their tactics is what some experts call fogging. This technique involves agreeing with any truth in the manipulator's statements but refusing to be moved by emotional coercion. If they say, "You're so successful, you should cover dinner," you could respond, "You're right that I've been doing well, but let's split the bill as we usually do." This acknowledges their statement without giving in to their manipulative tactics. It also asserts your boundaries and protects you from being taken advantage of. Another approach is to set clear boundaries and enforce them. If the manipulator wants you to lend them money or commit to tasks you're uncomfortable with, learn to say no assertively. Keep your tone calm, and your words clear. "I can't lend money, but I'm here to offer emotional support," sets a boundary while maintaining the friendship. This requires being confident in your own values and priorities and being willing to stand up for yourself. It also requires being able to communicate your boundaries clearly and respectfully. Drawing inspiration from Stoic thought, Epictetus warned us, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. The manipulator thrives on your predictable reactions. They manipulate your kindness, your guilt, or your desire for approval. By choosing to respond differently, you're taking control of your script again. This requires cultivating a strong sense of self-awareness and a clear understanding of your own triggers. It also requires the ability to detach from the manipulator's tactics and to respond with wisdom and equanimity. So, if you find a manipulator lurking in your life, remember that you're the one holding the pen. Your storyline is yours to write, and while the cast may include a variety of characters, the protagonist's journey, your journey, should always be guided by your own values and decisions. Reclaim your script, and don't let anyone manipulate your life's narrative. This requires cultivating a strong sense of self-belief and a clear vision of your goals. It also requires the ability to make decisions based on your own values and priorities, rather than being swayed by external pressure. Furthermore, remember the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control. You cannot control the manipulator's behavior, but you can control your response to it. Choose to focus on your own actions and your own goals. Don't let their manipulation define you or derail you from your path. This requires cultivating a strong sense of self-awareness and a clear understanding of your values. It also requires the ability to detach from external opinions and to trust your own intuition. By focusing on what you can control, you can protect yourself from the manipulator's tactics and continue to pursue your dreams with confidence and determination. In addition, consider the potential motivations behind the manipulator's behavior. Are they genuinely trying to hurt you, or are they simply trying to get their needs met? If they are genuinely trying to hurt you, it may be necessary to limit your interactions with them or to cut ties completely. However, if they are simply trying to get their needs met, try to communicate your boundaries clearly and assertively. Help them to find alternative ways to get their needs met that do not involve manipulation. Ultimately, it is their responsibility to change their behavior, but you can play a role in helping them to develop healthier relationship skills. 7. The Time Vampire, draining your symphony of moments. Imagine your daily routine as a carefully crafted symphony. Each instrument represents a task or commitment, and when played together, they create a harmonious balance. But then the vampire joins in, screeching off key, drowning out your melody, and turning your beautiful composition into discordant noise. The time vampire is not necessarily malicious. In fact, they might seem quite benign. It could be a colleague who constantly interrupts you with trivial questions, turning your productive workday into a series of fragmented moments. Or it could be a friend who invites you to countless social events that you're not interested in, making you feel obligated to attend and drain your time and energy. These interactions might seem inconsequential in the moment, but the cumulative effect can be profoundly disruptive. So, how do you protect your symphony from being ruined by a time vampire? One effective strategy is the Pomodoro technique, a time management method that involves breaking your work into intervals, traditionally 25 minutes, separated by short breaks. During these intervals, you make it clear that you're not to be disturbed. This sets a boundary that protects your most productive times from being nibbled away. It also helps you to focus your attention and to avoid distractions. By creating these focused work intervals, you can significantly increase your productivity and protect your time from being consumed by the time vampire. If you find yourself dealing with a social time vampire, remember that saying no is not just okay, it's essential for your well-being. Instead of offering elaborate excuses, a simple, "I appreciate the invite, but I can't make it," suffices. Declining an invitation is not a rejection of the person, it's an affirmation of your own needs and priorities. This requires being confident in your own choices and being willing to prioritize your own well-being. It also requires being able to communicate your boundaries clearly and respectfully. In the words of Seneca, life, if well lived, is long enough. Stoicism teaches us that time is one of our most precious resources, one that should be allocated wisely. It's the canvas upon which we paint the portrait of our lives, and we should be highly selective about who and what deserves a stroke of our brush. This requires cultivating a strong sense of purpose and a clear understanding of your goals. It also requires the ability to prioritize your time and to allocate it to the activities that are most aligned with your values. In the grand composition of your life, make sure each note, each instrument, each melody aligns with your greater purpose. Don't let the cacophonous intrusion of a time vampire throw your symphony into disarray. Hold the baton firmly, and conduct your life with purpose, ensuring that every moment is a note well played in your harmonious masterpiece. This requires cultivating a strong sense of self-discipline and the ability to resist distractions. It also requires the ability to prioritize your time and to allocate it to the activities that are most important to you. By conducting your life with purpose, you can protect your time from being consumed by the time vampire and create a more fulfilling and meaningful existence. Furthermore, remember the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control. You cannot control the time vampire's behavior, but you can control your response to it. Choose to focus on your own priorities and your own goals. Don't let their time-consuming demands define you or derail you from your path. This requires cultivating a strong sense of self-awareness and a clear understanding of your values. It also requires the ability to detach from external expectations and to trust your own intuition. By focusing on what you can control, you can protect yourself from the time vampire's influence and continue to pursue your dreams with confidence and determination. In addition, consider the potential motivations behind the time vampire's behavior. Are they genuinely trying to connect with you, or are they simply unaware of the impact they are having on your time? If they are genuinely trying to connect, try to communicate your boundaries clearly and respectfully. Help them to find alternative ways to connect that do not involve consuming your time. However, if they are simply unaware of the impact they are having, it may be necessary to limit your interactions with them or to set stricter boundaries. Ultimately, it is your responsibility to protect your own time and energy and to surround yourself with people who respect your boundaries. Self-awareness, the key to Stoic relationships. As we reach the finale of today's exploration into the characters who can derail our path towards Stoic resilience and wisdom, let's not forget that self-awareness is key. It's easy to recognize these types in others, but the more challenging and enlightening task is to look within. Are you perhaps unintentionally playing one of these roles in someone else's life? Remember, Stoicism isn't just about navigating the world, it's also about understanding and improving ourselves. This requires cultivating a strong sense of self-reflection and a willingness to examine your own behaviors and motivations. It also requires being honest with yourself about your strengths and weaknesses and being committed to personal growth. If today's discussion has sparked a realization, an epiphany, or even just a bit of introspection, I'd love to hear from you in the comments section. Write your thoughts, share your experiences, and let's engage in a dialogue that enriches us all. By sharing our experiences and insights, we can learn from each other and support each other on our Stoic journeys. This requires creating a safe and supportive community where we can be honest and vulnerable with each other. It also requires being willing to listen to and learn from the perspectives of others. So, until next time, may your choices align with your virtues, may your actions reflect your wisdom, and may your life be the masterpiece you're meant to create. This requires cultivating a strong sense of purpose and a clear understanding of your values. It also requires the ability to make decisions that are aligned with your virtues and to act with wisdom in all your endeavors. By living a life that is guided by your values and informed by your wisdom, you can create a masterpiece that is both fulfilling and meaningful. In summary, navigating social relationships with Stoic wisdom involves recognizing and managing the impact of certain personality types. The complainer drains energy with negativity, the drama magnet creates constant chaos, the naysayer undermines confidence, the victim avoids responsibility, the toxic positivist invalidates negative emotions, the manipulator rewrites your script for their benefit, and the time vampire steals precious moments. Stoic principles, such as focusing on what you can control, setting boundaries, practicing detachment, and cultivating self-awareness, are essential tools for navigating these challenging relationships and protecting your own well-being. Remember to like and subscribe.